Good morning, everyone. Lee Henson here, President and Founder of AgileDad, and it's time for today's edition of the Daily Stand-Up. Without any further ado, let's get started. Today is a good day. It is Tuesday, and it is episode 200 of the Daily Stand-Up. Isn't that amazing? 200 episodes of this podcast, and we want to thank all of you for your support and for your patronage to listen, because without you, we couldn't make this possible. So today I wanted to dedicate this daily stand-up to the number one question that we get asked via email, or the number one question that comes in. And it might seem like an elementary or rudimentary question, but it's one that we see as a recurring theme over and over. In fact, when I very first started teaching these classes, I saw this question come up. Then, as that group of people matured through the Agile process, I saw that question go away. And now I'm back to seeing that question again. So with this thought, what my initial thought is that this is a new group of people who are going through the Agile maturity flow. It's a new working generation, and they're trying to get their feet under them. So the question that I'm going to cover today is, we offer Scrum Alliance certifications. Which one's better for you, the CSM or the CSPO? I get this question all the time from people who call in. So I thought it'd be better to answer the question. So there are three basic Scrum certifications, actually. There's the Certified Scrum Master, or CSM. There's a Certified Scrum Product Owner, or CSPO. And there's a Certified Scrum Developer, or CSD. Now, I want to warn you ahead of time. There are probably 20 imposter certifications out there for each one of these. There's so many that try to take away from the credibility of the Scrum Alliance certifications. So the thing you should know first and foremost is that when you're getting a Scrum Alliance certification, you're not just earning a piece of paper that says you can walk the walk. What you're earning is a piece of paper that says that you've been trained by an expert who has years of industry experience, both in the position and as a trainer and coach. Someone who's been in some of the biggest companies around the world, someone who can explain to you what to do in certain situations, someone who can educate you and guide you and help you build a toolbox that's going to help you no matter what position you decide to take. Most importantly, the one thing that I hear from most recruiters is that the CSM or CSPO lends the greatest, it lends the greatest reliability, and it proves that you have the greatest capability. It's the one that instills the most confidence in the hiring manager to know that you have met a certain set of credentials, and that when you come in, you'll basically be a plug and play individual, someone who can insert themselves into the team and do the things that you need to do. So the first question right out of the gate is, do I need any experience to get started? The answer is no, very minimal. A lot of times before people come to my class, I ask them to read the Scrum Guide. It's 13 short pages. I ask them to review a basic page on a Scrum Alliance that kind of gives you some high-level information about what's going on with regard to Agile and Scrum. And I ask them to just come with an open mind. Oftentimes, it's easier to teach people who are not already learned, because you're not trying to take away bad behaviors and instill good behaviors. You're just working on focusing on those good behaviors. The second piece of this that I get all the time is, do I have to be working on a technical project to apply Agile or Scrum? And my answer is, heavens no, no way, right? What we're finding is that more organizations, whether it's financial or business or insurance or entertainment or retail or you name it, pharmaceutical, medical, all these different industries are embracing Agile frameworks. Now, a lot of these are not going full force Scrum, but the good news is these baseline certifications are going to help get you in a place where you understand the greater capabilities and powers of Scrum, as long as you get in with the right certification, a Scrum Alliance certification, and the right instructor, one who has years of experience, lots of public reviews, lots of energy, someone that can help you navigate the process and build a toolbox that's going to help you be successful in your opportunity. So let's quickly go through the three certifications. So the first one I want to talk about is Certified Scrum Master. It is the bread and butter. This covers the fundamental aspects of the Scrum framework and how Agile works in conjunction with Scrum. The course reviews all the basics that are included in the Scrum Guide and sets you on your way to being the true servant leader of your organization. It will help you assist in the removal of impediments. It'll help you engage with your Scrum teams. It will help you engage with the organization, and it will teach you all the things you need to know, including the differences between a traditional project manager and a Scrum Master. Does this mean you have to be a project manager before you become a Scrum Master? Is that the only thing you can do once you get the CSM certification? And the answer is no. We have lots of people who come in and get the CSM certification and go on to do different things within the Agile framework. So it's not necessarily a one-to-one, but it's definitely the best of the three for a foundational overview that gives you a holistic view of everything that's happening within Scrum. Do you have to have years of experience to do this? No, absolutely not. This is something that you can come in with just a very baseline level of experience or no experience at all and still walk away with a solid certification that's going to help you energize yourself and push yourself forward in a workspace. We have lots of folks from the military background who come on over with their military experience and are able to apply it directly into the CSM and end up getting a nice lucrative career post-military service through using these Scrum Alliance certifications. So there's definitely some leverage there and some linear alignment between the two. The second certification is Certified Scrum Product Owner, and this one's more specific. So the product owner in Scrum is typically someone who works more close to the business side of the organization. They understand all the stakeholders' needs and the vision and strategy to building a finished product. This person is someone who should have a basic understanding of the Scrum Guide, understands what product management is about, and wants to take things a little further specifically and uniquely to the role that they're going to be governing a product or service. Now, once again, this doesn't apply just to technical products. It applies to any product. And what I can tell you is that the product owner certification is incredible for you to really understand how to translate a vision and strategy into a working roadmap, into a set of backlog items that can be easily consumed by the team, into planning for releases and increments and then sprints and getting it through. So the product owner certification definitely covers a large gamut of information, and it's a very favorable recommendation. It does not replace the CSM, but works really well in conjunction with the CSM. Now, a lot of people say, well, I just want the product owner part of it. And that's fine. If you plan on being a product owner and you know that that's your path, then the product owner certification is right for you. In many cases, I encourage people to get the tandem of the CSM and a CSPO. That way you can cover everything from the vision and strategy all the way down through the execution section of the things that you're trying to cover. So there's a lot of excitement and energy that goes around being a product owner. It is one of the hardest positions within the Agile framework, in my opinion, but it's one of the most rewarding as well to see your product or service make it to market and to see consumer satisfaction. The third certification is Certified Scrum Developer. Now, this one is designed for people who build products and services. It says developer because it's more software centric. In fact, part of the commitment is that you have some type of software enhancement course that goes with it. What I can tell you is here's a secret. For most organizations, 2 days of the CSD is my CSM course. So what I'm trying to say is if you're getting a CSD or a Certified Scrum Developer, 2 of those days are already dedicated to Certified Scrum Master. So if you're not looking to take any courses to enhance your development, your development practices, your software development practices, a lot of times what I'll encourage people to do is save money. Organizations save money by doing a CSM for those people and skipping the CSD part until they're ready to engage in some type of very specific software-driven model. The other piece of this that works really well is a lot of people say, well, should I send my regular frontline workers, if they're not software developers, to a CSD? And my answer is obviously no. They would be better suited for a CSM class. So if you have any team members or frontline workers, they should either be taking an Agile Fundamentals or Foundations class. The Agile Fundamentals class is one that's through the Scrum Alliance. It has a specific set of working objectives, and it's a one-day course. The Agile Fundamentals class through AgileDad is a 2-day course, and it gives you a lot of the inner workings of things that you would do as a team member, regardless of whether you're working on technical or non-technical projects. I think one's kind of more preparatory than the other. They both cover great information, but it gives you a holistic view of what you need to do. So here's your homework. The first question I want you to ask yourself is, and by the way, all of this information that I'm sharing with you is available on scrumalliance.org. So if you go to scrumalliance.org, they have a section called Get Certified, and you can get in there and you can see all the information about these certifications. But the next question is, or the first question of homework for you, I guess I should say, is why do you want to be certified, right? In order for you to figure out which one's best for you, it's important for you to think of what your long-term goals are. Are you currently a job seeker who's looking to become certified to enhance your resume, to gain trust of prospective employers, and to let them know that you're prepared to take that journey down the path? If that's the case, the CSM is right for you. The CSM is perfect. It's a good fit. And I think that it'll give you the baseline for all the information that you need. A lot of people say, well, I'm currently trying to get my PMP as well. Do those complement each other? The answer is they teach two different sets of project management principles. The PMP, in my opinion, is the gold standard of project management. It's the equivalent to saying, I have a project management college degree, right? But as with most college degrees, some of that will be applied, much won't ever be used again. It's good holistically because it teaches you some good practices and things to think about so you can be a better Scrum Master, but I don't know that one replaces the other. The two do play well together, so that's something that's important for you to realize as well. We have a lot of veterans who transition out and they end up getting the PMP and the CSM, and what we found is that they're easier to place. It's kind of like a Swiss Army knife. If they have the PMP, the CSM, and a CSPO, it almost makes you invincible. It makes you able to prove to that employer that you can handle any situation with regard to project management and that you'll be successful, that it'll be very difficult for you to encounter an impediment that you couldn't overcome or help the team overcome. It just makes you that greater figure. If you instead have specific interest in understanding and communicating with the company stakeholders, what the point of view is, or focus on delivering a product, the CSPO is probably going to be a better fit for you. And that's the one you want to do within your organization. So it really does depend on which one you're trying to do. If you want the more holistic view, CSM is going to give you the whole world picture, but it's not going to give that deep dive focus into the product ownership role. If you have specific interest in product ownership, CSPO is going to be the one for you. If your interest lies somewhere in between, the CSM and CSPO are not mutually exclusive. In fact, you could take both courses and have that full rounded view and increase value to any team immediately that you jump on. So once you become a CSM or CSPO, you got some things you need to do. So congratulations, you've got this certification. What do you do next? Well, you can add a certification to your resume because that's incredibly important. Make sure people know that you got it. And more importantly, make sure they know who your instructor was. Believe it or not, it does make a difference. There are many instructors out there that have really easy courses where you're just sitting to earn your letters. And then have instructors like me that are going to make you work for it so that when you go out to your employer or prospective employer, they're going to see that you put in the time and effort to get the right certification. Two, add a certification to your LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn is the de facto standard when it comes to where people go to find out information about you, just like the Scrum Alliance certification is standard and the one that's most industry recognized. So make sure you stick with that one. Three, network and stay active through your local Scrum community. They have lots of Scrum meetups and Scrum user groups and Scrum Slack boards. Make sure you stay active in those. Find those, seek those out, and stay active. If you can find an active community, get in there. If not, contact me and I'll help you find one. Next, you want to make sure you're applying some part of the Scrum framework every day, whether it's in your personal life, your professional life. This is real easy to apply at home and something that you'll see that you'll get great value out of. Finally, continue brushing up on a Scrum guide. You know, a lot of people read the Scrum guide in one pass. And what I can tell you is every time I read it, Ken and Jeff were very thoughtful. Every time I read the Scrum guide, I pick something new out of it. And I decide I want to focus on that. And that's what helps me be a more well-rounded Scrum practitioner. And of course, the last piece is work towards your CSP, your Certified Scrum Professional. Achieve those advanced certifications when it's time. Continue to up those certifications and separate yourself from the rest of the group who are applying for these jobs by having those advanced certifications. I hope this information was useful to you. As always, we encourage you to visit agiledad.com where you can learn more about this topic, or in this case, scrumalliance.com, where you can learn more about this topic and other topics regarding Scrum certifications. As always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next time, do take care.